All right, everyone, we are live.
Hello.
Hopefully, we are
Uh,
live.
Uh,
Oh boy,
we have a new
yeah.
tech person. Wish us luck.
Yeah, do I need
Fanganconpa.
to, like, explain that?
No, I think it's fine. So,
Okay.
everyone, welcome. It looks good on my from what I'm seeing on the streams on. Um,
I think we look good. We're good.
yeah, we look
Yeah.
good. Welcome to the Fanganconpa bonus directors panel. Um, we just wanted to hop on real quick to basically explain what this panel is as well. Well, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but also to thank you guys once again for hitting that number for the dono goal that was for this, which was 7,000, I believe, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
An insane amount.
So we just wanted to pop on, say hi real quick, before hopping into the panel. So yeah, thank you all so much, everyone. We will be back in a second.
Thank you all for your support.
Wow.
Wouldn't be here without you.
I just realized that
And Toad couldn't be here because he's
did I
dead.
remember to enable the image before?
Yeah, you did, because we told you to.
I better have.
Eh.
All right. We will be back in a sec. All right, we are live, everyone. Welcome to the directors panel. Welcome back. After
Yay!
that small little brief time, how is everyone doing this afternoon, morning, whatever?
I'm good. I think we're all doing good.
Awesome.
I can tell if you're talking to us or to the chat there.
Yeah,
Both.
Yeah,
Both.
I mean, chat can answer too.
Yeah.
I
chat,
don't know how
chat.
chat's doing.
Anywho, welcome to the directors panel. My name is Maeve Rose. I will be your host today. And these four lovely people will now introduce themselves. Go ahead. From left to right on my end, so that would be you, Trina.
Wow. Okay. Hey, guys. I'm sure if you watched any of Fangancon, you have seen my face or heard of me as Fanganconpa Tech Person, also known as Trina, also known as the Danganronpa Salvation Spheres developer. It is a video game Fangan on RPG Maker MV. We're currently up to Chapter 3 Daily Life, Chapter 3 Deadly Life coming out this month for those of you who tuned into Fangans for You. And I am very excited to be here. This is very fun. Very fun being a panelist for once. I feel like very uncomfortable. I can't believe this is you guys lived like this.
This is how you all live?
Welcome to our world. Oh no.
All right.
Okay, so it's my turn. Turn? What? Turn! I can't English today. This is a great start. Hi, my name is Crancy. I'm the creator and director of Danganronpa Fate's Return, which is a video series on YouTube that it has progressed currently up to Chapter 2 Trial. Chapter 2 Trial coming hopefully this year.
Awesome. Next would be Raven.
Hello. Hi everyone, I am Raven and I'm the director of the Live or Die trilogy, including Danganronpa Live or Die, Danganronpa Survivors Guild, as well as the bonus stories Synthetic Love and Survivors Guild Origin, and I was also one of the co-hosts of the Fangans for Hope charity event.
Yeah,
Thanks so much for having me here.
Awesome, yeah. Which Fangans without Fangans for Hope, we wouldn't have even thought of this. So, thank you so much for doing that.
Truth nuke.
All right, and finally, someone who actually has not been on any other Fanganconpa panel, our little special guest of today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, you're too kind. Hello, I'm Banj. I'm the writer and director of Danganronpa SOS. As pointed out, I'm kind of an elusive entity in the Fangan space. I don't really come out of my cave much. So I'm very happy to be here.
Hey, I felt that. All right.
Say.
Yeah.
Can I mention one more
Go for it.
thing?
Go for it.
We would also like to say that Ripley, if you're listening to this, hi. We're sorry that you could. For those who aren't in the know-how, Ripley was supposed to join us for today, but unfortunately they are sick and are not able to join the stream. Everyone in chat, please send your get well soon messages.
Real. Get well soon, Rip.
Hearts and prayers go out.
Get well soon, Rip. We miss you.
All right. But with that, let's get into those questions, everyone. We had a lot of questions submitted today, so we're gonna try to get through these. We're gonna try to zoom on through. All right.
I know we did save 2 hours for this if needed, so
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
we should be fine.
Yep.
It was,
We should be
We'll
okay.
just go until we get through the questions, I guess. All right.
It was 40 questions, right? We're going to be here for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah, there was.
And
There
some
was
of them had
40. You guys
multiple
went
levels.
long.
Let's just
You
do
all
like
paid
one
for this.
sentence answers
Hey,
for
chat
everything.
paid for this. Chat paid for this. You
Chat
donated.
That's true.
You donated for this, and we are giving.
You paid for our suffering now.
Damn right they paid for your suffering. So, question 1. What's your number 1 do and don't when it comes to directing?
Are we doing left
we-
or right? Am I going first, or is this just a free for all type thing?
Free for all, honestly. Whoever wants to answer first,
Okay.
I believe.
Panic system.
I do have an
I'll
answer
take
like
the
ready.
team. My do. Sorry.
No,
you
go
wanna
for it.
first? So, my do. Think ahead. List the things that you want to or need to get done in like a private document or a spreadsheet or something. Fangans have so many invisible parts that you don't think about that will have to be done if you want a finished product. Like, for example, sound effects or planning out character arcs, or maybe doing voice direction if you need, if you have VAs involved. These things are so much more. You're gonna remember them much more, and you're gonna be more aware of them if you make lists of things that need to be done and think about each step in the process. My don't is that if you're a director who's gonna sit on your butt and do nothing, your Fangan's going nowhere. You need to contribute. You are the director. Plan things, be present in the process. If you're doing writing, art, or other stuff, even better. If you have a team, you have to be a part of the team. Even if you're a leader, a team leader is still part of the team and contributes to it. No team is going to be making your Fangan for you.
Damn right. Damn right.
Yeah.
No. Can we
That's
get
really
some
smart.
snaps for that?
Yeah, no, piggybacking off of it, I think it's important to note, and this might sound disheartening at first, but truly, nobody's going to care about your Fangan as much as you do. So even if you think you have all this staff who cares deeply, they might. For all we know, they might, but they will not care as much as you, so you need to be putting in the most effort out of everybody as a director. That's how I like to think about it.
Yeah.
I think more people should think about it that way.
Really?
Yeah, I really agree with that. It begins and ends with you, right? This is your
Yeah.
project. You have to have that responsibility for it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that can count as my due. Like, piggybacking off of Kronzi for sure. Make sure you are doing the most in your Fangan, because it is your Fangan. Anyway, for my don't, I'm gonna steal the answer that I know popped into all of our heads immediately. For the love of God, if your prologue is not done and you cast VAs, I will smite you. As someone who is a Fangan voice actor on top of being a director, I will send you to super hell myself. If you do that,
I will personally
reconsider.
execute you. Coming from a
Literally.
voice actor. That's
As
Like, from a voice actor?
Yeah.
Yeah. As a voice actor, I will be annoyed because like
oh my god.
we've got all these people have gone through the audition process only to likely never have something to record for immediately, and then that's when you get all the recasts and all the other drama follows with it. As a director, I did cast my VAs too early, so I'm not saying it's a be all end all. You can bounce back from it, but just try to avoid it altogether. Lamau?
Yeah, that is a mistake of Fangan dev past. The new generation can learn from our mistakes. Coming from someone
I see
who
Melvin
also
in chat and I'm mad
made
at
that
him.
mistake.
He's been cast in SF for like 3 years.
All right.
I could go next, maybe.
Raven?
Okay, so as for do, I would say that good communication is very important. So you should be communicating your stuff exactly what you want, what you need from them, and be clear as much as possible. And if they have any doubts, then answer, and don't leave them like unsure. And also you should be to the reasonable extent be available to listen to them, to answer any questions that they might have. So if there's some issue with something, you can reply to them and yeah, but that's basically I think that for the entire team it's important to have good communication and to because miscommunication will always be a problem if you are not talking. It doesn't mean you have to be talking all the time and be always available for everyone, but you need to communicate things. And as for don'ts, one thing that I would say is to avoid like petty drama and fighting. Don't argue about stupid shit with your team. Don't go around like arguing with fans who said something silly in public. Don't go in public making fun of other creators or stuff like that, because there's no reason to do this. You are the face of your project, and you should be acting responsibly and well, I don't want to say professionally because you're an amateur. You're not doing this for money, but you should be acting seriously, like a reasonable adult, even if you see some people saying something silly. I mean, not from your team, but like someone says something silly in public, don't go fight with them because it's not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I think you nailed so much there.
Yeah. Killed that.
Half of my answers are just going to be repeating what you said there, like throughout this whole thing. Communication, especially, like I'm going to come back to it like constantly on this panel, but yeah, just talk to people. It does so much.
Yeah, don't be an ass. Drama and Fangans mix like oil and water.
Oh.
Oh my god. Tell me about it. Oh.
I suppose for my do's and don'ts, yeah, it's just me left, right?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Have a vision. Like, have a core idea, core theme, something you're trying to do and say with the story, and don't compromise on it too much. Set out your goals early, be like, this is what I want to do, and just keep that as your sort of guiding star. I think that's really important. I think it's very easy to get bogged down, and it's a complicated thing to do, make a project, right? It's a complicated type of story as well. You're writing so many murders, you have to do so many mysteries. Just try and keep, your eye on the prize. I want to do this. This is the story I want to tell, and yeah, just stick to it. That's my sort of do. And my don't is, don't not do that. Don't compromise on your vision. Don't get too swayed by, oh, the fandom's saying this. Like, this is your story, your project, and you should trust in yourself, because otherwise it's not going to get made, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's so real.
Real, yeah. All right. Moving on to our next question. Where do you get your inspiration from? What do you do when you get writer's block?
I mean, again, I have an answer if we're just going free for all.
Go for it.
As for where I get my inspiration from, admittedly, I am big into the Ace Attorney franchise, that series. If you haven't played Ace Attorney, play Ace Attorney.
It's peak.
I played Raincode recently as well, and I think even just in having played that so recently, it's already inspired my writing, and there's a noticeable shift pre-playing Raincode and post-playing Raincode, I can't lie. For the better, I'd like to think. I also just watched a lot of murder mystery TV shows growing up. For those of you who don't know, I am Canadian. And there is a Canadian TV show called Murdoch Mysteries that has 20 seasons. It's been on since I was a child. It's still airing. It's actually insane. And it's goated. If you're Canadian... Yeah.
Crayon Shin-chan of the Canadians.
Literally.
Canadian One Piece.
My Canada One Piece. And as for what I do when I get writing block, and I know for people that are making audio dramas, this is gonna be a tough answer to hear because I just do other things. If I don't feel like writing, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do a CG or I'm gonna program a scene. I'm gonna audio mix 200 lines of Melvin screaming in my face. When you're a director, there are so many other departments that you can circle back to, especially when you get into the flow of making your Fanganon and beyond that first chapter. You're constantly doing things all the time in various departments that if you do ever get writer's block, you can always just pivot and then do something else until you get that groove back.
Can I bounce off that? Because there's a few things in there that I think really you've touched on that are going to fold into my answer.
Sure.
Yeah, so for the writer's block thing, as more of a pure writer, I can't draw, I can't do a lot of things. I can write and I can direct. Yeah, it's a really good idea to just take a step away and still be productive. Don't get yourself out of the headspace. Don't go and be like, oh, I'm just going to go relax for a bit. Keep yourself in that working mind, working headspace. That's really good. Sometimes you just have to write through writer's block, I think. Sometimes you will just have to... the way it was always described to me when I was getting my screenwriting degree was... that sounds like such a humble brag, I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
But how it was described to me
Professional.
was putting sand in the box so that you can then build sandcastles later. You're going to have to do the heavy work of just shoveling sand at some point, and that will be writing kind of terrible first drafts. So that's an inevitability, I think. So sometimes you just have to work through writer's block. And for the inspiration, obviously you mentioned specific series. I think that's so spot on. Inspiration isn't something you go and get. You don't go out and get inspiration. Inspiration gets you. Because, inspiration comes from everything. So to get inspiration, I'd say just live, do things, read a book, watch a TV show. Inspiration will come at you from every angle. So the more you go out and experience, whether it be media or just stuff in life, the more you will be inspired. The more you'll be able to say, oh, you go and watch some random sport. You're like, oh, that's a really cool sport. I didn't know, that existed. Maybe that could be someone's talent. And then you tie that in and that's a new character for your Fangan. Inspiration comes from everything. So just do everything.
Can I piggyback off of that?
Of course.
Yeah.
Take a shot every time one of us says, can I piggyback off of that?
Yeah. So I'm gonna say for the writer's block stuff, both answers, go do something else, and sometimes you have to write through it. Those are so real. I want to add a possible tip: music, atmospheric music that fits the tone, music that reminds you of certain characters that can really get you going again and gives you something to latch onto and draw from. That honestly fits right in with the inspiration thing. consume a lot of media. But personally, I would not shy away from taking inspiration from real life. Like, a lot of my characters are inspired in part by people who I have met or situations I know people have been in before. Of course, don't do that for cases. Don't take inspiration from real life for cases. I found out later on that one of my cases is really close to something that actually happened IRL, and I'm kind of scared. But yeah, for cases, I actually base my cases off of horror concepts that scare me, because I like my cases a smidge bit unsettling.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Okay, so if I can add something, it's as for inspiration, I talked about my inspirations a lot at my panel at the Fun Guns for Hope panel, so I don't want to be listing everything again. Like the main ones, like the Scream movies or other Fun Guns or the Uchikoshi games, but like a few people said already, you can take inspiration from almost everything, games, anime, real life as well. And of course, I never based an actual murder case in my game on a real life murder, but there was one murder case when I was inspired by a certain event where there was a gas explosion and in our city, and I thought about it. What if someone murdered someone with a gas explosion? I would probably not choose a real life, like actual murder where a person kills another person for a case, because that would be kinda in bad taste. But like that something like that can happen. That how destructive that was. It was something that was in my head, and when I was looking for people who played will know which case it is. As for the writing block, I don't suffer from it that much, but when I rarely have situations when I don't know what to write, but I have situations when I'm like tired and don't have strength to write. So when it happens, I usually just write in very small portions, so that I'm like that. For example, 1 page a day at least. So there is some progress. I'm not stuck for forever. And also another thing that you could try is, if you really don't want to write this part, you could try writing a later scene first, as long as you make sure that there are no logical mistakes in what happened first. If you write a later scene first, you have to be careful with that. So I think this is.
Yeah, and you can always go back to it. All right. Our next question is, how did you decide on your Fangans presentation? Medium, art style, etc.?
I have a pretty short answer. I wanted to make either a video series or a game, and I was just intimidated by game development. We ignore that I now have a degree in programming. Yeah,
awesome.
In terms of art style and such, it's just been growing with my style and preferences, and a lot of my choices are dictated what's practical, because I'm mainly a one-person team, so practical is usually the easiest thing to do. Like, the thing with moving between locations through a 2D map where there's chippies of characters that move from one place to another, that was entirely me panicking. Oh no, what am I gonna do to show that these characters are moving from one location to another? Because I don't want to do just a transition or just or 3D model the entire thing out and do the walking thing that THH does. So I just went with an easy representation that ended up giving the project a bit of character.
Yeah.
I feel that. I think a lot of the time it's as much here's something I can actually do versus here's what I want to do. Oftentimes I think it's a mix between what's achievable and what do I want, which I guess leads me naturally into why SOS is an audio drama and my view on this, which is, like I said earlier, I can't do much. I can write, and I reckon I can get some people to do some voices. So I made an audio drama because that was achievable to me. I knew I could just write. If I can get someone to voice the scripts, which there's a lot of fangamies out there, there's a lot of wonderful people who are very keen to provide their voices, which is a wonderful thing about this community. And so I just went and did it. And obviously now SOS has artists and editors, and it's got this lovely visual style. But I sort of just came to make it, the way it is because it was something I could do. And I think that's what I recommend: is use your skills and make it achievable when deciding how you want to do your fangan. Format.
Okay, if I can, but I wanted to say that for me it was like the other way around. It wasn't that I wanted to make a fangan and was wondering what type of media I should use. I wanted to make my next game and I was wondering what genre should I work with. So because I was making RPG games, like very basic ones before, and I thought maybe I should make a fangan instead. So that's why I started, and I can't imagine doing it any other way. I was making games for such a long time, even if they aren't very like professionally coded. They're very like on hopes and dreams, but they work. And I like doing that, so that's what I want to do. And making games gives you a lot of options that you wouldn't have in other media. I love when games like play with the player. That's why I like meta games so much, and I want to expand on this idea in the next Fangan as well, to do various things involving the player that you wouldn't be able to do in any other media. As for the art style, it's kind of a similar thing. I wanted to make a game with my wife as the artist, and that's her art style, so that's how it looks, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah. As somebody who also has a game fangan, I honestly, SF was always going to be a game. Like, I know some developers go through the whole, what medium are you going to use? SF was always going to be a game because I don't have a super extensive background in programming or anything or what have you. Like, I'm a business student, guys. I don't have degrees in programming and script writing. I'm just here with my numbers and my calculator. But I always knew I wanted SF to be a game, and it kind of depended on what engine I wanted to use. Fun fact, SF was originally a Ren'Py game, and then I realized, wow, I hate drawing backgrounds. What game engine can I use where I draw less backgrounds? RPG Maker. Go!
So
And that's how SF became an RPG Maker game.
That is so real.
Yeah.
Backgrounds might be loathed.
I hate them. I hate them so much.
RPG Maker also has like a lot of community-made assets that are like free to use, or
Yeah.
even if you just have to pay a couple bucks to use. So yeah, no, I completely
Oh yeah.
Alright.
If people ask me, I will send you the full list of plugins that I use for SF, and it makes life so much easier. Please use plugins. They are your friend. Don't be scared of them.
Plugins
Are your friend.
Plugins are
Yes.
your friend. All right. Next question. Do you create the plot with or without details for the whole story and then start programming or video editing or writing or whatever? Or do you create chapter by chapter?
If you create chapter by chapter and it
exit.
works, you scare me.
Yes, I plan the whole story and then detail things out chapter by chapter when I get closer to it in production.
Yeah, as I did two finished Fangans, I have pretty much the main formula trained by now. So what I do is first I outline the entire story and the arcs and the main plot lines that are going for the story and like the main ideas for each chapter. But then at the start of each chapter, I review it and I make the detailed plan for this chapter. And sometimes I make differences from the original plan based on how I feel about the story so far, how I change some of my ideas. So sometimes those ideas for later chapters evolve a bit, but the main plotline, of course, is the same. It's not like I'm gonna change the mastermind in chapter 3. That would make no sense. And as for like writing, then I just write chapter by chapter. I don't write the script for future chapters, but I have the outline of the story ready.
All right. Banj?
Yeah, I think it's a very similar case for me. Big picture, get it all down first, and then you can go into your details as and when. I think the main thing is write in a way that motivates you. Everyone is on a spectrum between I like just, getting my outline and just like writing as I go along, like pantsing it, they call it, like seat of your pants. Or, other people are like, I like to plan, I like to just get everything meticulously down. Whatever's going to keep you motivated, whatever's going to be fun and make you want to keep writing is the best method, I think. Because ultimately, you're going to have to write a lot. So whatever makes you write, do it. That's probably a good piece of advice for any element, I think.
Yes. You can always go back and edit later.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, I will answer this, but I'm sure you've noticed me frantically typing my plugin list in chat. LOL. What was the question? Oh, the plot thing. Yes.
Plot thing.
I had every single murder planned out and a few things I wanted to happen in every daily life to get point A to point B. But I've stuck to that pretty closely. I think it's helped a lot. Like, it's helped you envision the bigger picture, and then as you develop as a writer especially, there are things that you're going to want to improve and change. Like the SF Death Order, I mentioned it on stream on day one, it has changed a little bit. We've yet to get to the point where I have changed it. Right now it's still the same as its original draft, but like, we're getting there. It did shift a little. Yeah, plan out as much as you can, but also don't be afraid to change stuff.
All
I will keep typing plugins.
Awesome. You keep doing that. This actually leads very naturally into our next question, which is, what's your process, if at all, for outlining future parts of the story to keep track of everything?
Can I go first?
Go for
I haven't
it.
gone first on my question yet.
Yeah.
It's start broad, get narrow. It's a triangle. Go as broad as you can at first, and then get closer and closer and closer in. So the way I do this is I start with like, okay, this is what I want this episode to be. Here's the broad. This character's going to do this. This is going to be the main idea. And then it comes into, okay, here's what each scene is going to be. And then it's, okay, here's each like plot beat within that scene. And then it's the script. It's just plan like that. Plan big, vague as well is important because vagueness is flexibility. So if you do come up with something later or something occurs, you're like, oh, let's say like a production reason, like, oh, I can't include this voice actor as much as I want. I've never personally written around voice actors' availability. I just write and then deal with that after. But let's say, there's a circumstance you're like, oh, they can't do that much this week. Maybe I can include their character slightly less. And because you haven't, committed a massive plan already, you can adapt. So yeah, it's start broad, then narrow until you're already there writing it. And even then, while you're writing it, you can change it. There's so many scenes I come up with on the fly, because like while writing the scripts for SOS, I'll be writing and I'll be like, oh, this is a good idea, and I'll just put in a whole new scene. So it's not a hard and fast like rule, but generally that's what I'd say.
Yeah, what Banch said is basically my writing progress, writing process for like each scene. As for like the bigger picture, I have like 5 notebooks with events and lore and everything like that.
Oh, wow.
Because of course they are in like 5 different notebooks, not in one singular notebook. Don't ask why.
No, I feel that.
But yeah, like I've written stuff like character progression and like significant events I want to happen and that sort of stuff. I've written it all down and I cross-reference things often so I don't end up with discrepancies like, oh, here it says this, but here it says this other thing. Write things down a lot. I like doing things down physically. You can use like a document program or something like that. Cross-reference often and think about how you can interweave and contrast different character stories, because you don't have time to do like 16 separate character stories. If you can make it so one scene can serve multiple characters at the same time, that is good.
All right.
Okay, so I also agree with the writing things down, and I have like one large document for the main outline of the story, but some other ones for specific plot lines. Yeah, you should. When you have a arc that's going through several chapters, you should probably write down in which chapter, which part of the arc will take place, so that you're not suddenly stuck with having to make a whole arc in the entire chapter because this character is about to die and you have to finish the arc first, and this won't be good. Right now, I said that I'm forbidding myself from writing down my ideas yet because. I said I would take a break after finishing the last Fangan, so for a few more weeks, no writing down, but I can't stop myself from thinking everything in my head, and my head is about to explode with all the ideas, and I want to write them down, but the break is still happening.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
Um,
I am done writing my plugins. I can't actually answer now.
Go for it.
See, I'll be quick because I kind of alluded to it. I do have like master docs of every single chapter, and that really helps me keep track of everything. Because again, like daily lives, I will admit they're very on the fly. I kind of prefer it that way because then they kind of evolve with me as a writer. Daily lives though are very, very set in stone, and just having those like constant touch points of like I need to be at this point with these people for this to work in this trial, and they need to be here for the next trial, and here for the next one, and here for the next one. That kind of allows you to have that creative freedom in between those points, so it's not a super rigid process, but still a process with enough form that you still have a story.
All right. Next question. So this one might be a bit quicker. Did you think about including some unique mechanics to your Fangan?
What do we mean by
Yeah,
mechanics?
Canon D are hard.
Is this specific to games, or?
Yeah, I think this would be an exclusive.
Or
question
mechanics
to games.
of the killing game?
I think both works.
I think both
Bronte
works,
had
yeah.
a response that was kind of like that second one.
Yeah.
I have several ideas for mechanics of the game, as in the medium, but most of them will happen in the next game, so I'm not spoiling it yet.
Oh.
But I want to do a lot more of fourth wall breaking and stuff like that. I will have to first I will have to learn how to make some of the ideas that I have, but I will learn it.
Like how like
That's cool.
DDLC handles it, or like kind of like.
Oh yeah, I mentioned the DLC as one of my inspirations, as well as Totono and Undertale. With as I said, I like where game is playing with the player themselves, and this breaking fourth wall element is really cool for me. So
In Raven's next Fangan, it's going to grab you and drag you through the screen, and then you're going to be in the killing game.
You will be Makoto Naegi.
Oh,
The
man.
that will
ultimate
be
waiter.
cool.
Yep. I mean, for game mechanics, for those of you familiar with SF, and I will probably go more in depth into this in a different question, so I'll keep this brief. The thing that I really, really wanted to do is I wanted to make sure that the entity of the player and the entity of the protagonist are different. Like, you are not meant to think the exact same things as Nagamori. If you did, I would have concerns. And because of that, SF POV switches, like, very, very frequently, despite still having that main protagonist voice. And stuff like that, I think is just... I think it's cool, and I think RPG Maker serves it very well. And, like, I wouldn't be able to do that as organically with other mediums. So, yeah. Again, more on that later.
I suppose for a non-literal game mechanic, I think the mechanics of plot are really interesting. And one thing I decided to do that, again, because again, we're all writing a Fangan, right? Where existing in conversation with the previously existing series. So one thing that I thought of doing, which SOS does, is I have roommates instead of individual rooms. And that's a really interesting plot mechanic because it so fundamentally changes the way murder trials happen, or like murder cases happen, because everyone always has like a witness with them. And so that's one example,
cool.
I think, for SOS. Is you're
It's
constantly...
kind of similar to one thing that I'm going to be doing in my next game. I gotta say, I don't know the details about yours, so I can't say how similar. But like having roommates is something that will be present.
Personally, I also added some more mechanics, like for a more like story, like a base mechanic, kind of like the roommate one. There's messaging system. There's a messaging system in Fate Return, so the characters are able to contact each other remotely. Yes, that has caused problems for me. Yes, I have had to write also around it because that's actually like a huge thing. I didn't think would cause as many like things as it would.
No, I feel that. I feel that so much. That's me with the roommates.
Like, there's a reason why you don't allow people to have phones in killing games, okay? Okay.
I felt that in my soul. Yeah.
Yeah. But for like an actual like mechanic, I actually do have a mechanic that I added like recently late into the development process before I released the prologue. But in Fate Return, if you kill the third zero, everyone gets to go free. No trial, no questions. So we have not exactly seen what the existence of third zero brings to the cast, but I will say it will change the dynamic on its head.
Ooh, exciting.
Oh, I remembered one thing I forgot to say about the mechanics of the killing game itself. Since I don't want to say things that will be in the next game, but there's one thing that Survivors Guild has in the later chapters, and I think it allowed me to do so much crazy stuff. Minor spoilers for Survivors Guild because it's something you learned in like chapter 3. This is a simulation, but it is a simulation where you die for real. So it's not like Danganronpa 2.
If you die
however,
in the game, you die in real life, sorry.
However, the point is, within the simulation, non-lethal wounds are healed much quicker. And this, when people discover it, a lot of them start abusing it a lot. Like you can you can hurt someone a lot to punish them for something. For example, if you have like when they discover weapons, you can shoot someone multiple times as long as you like hit their arms or legs. And it's really well, it's kind of fucked up. But the point is, they won't die if you don't shoot them in the like vitals, or you don't let them bleed out. But it allows for a lot of things that you wouldn't do outside of the simulation because they would like either die or be incapacitated for a long time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can I like? That's why I just thought of something that sort of springs off of that specifically, and something that Blues said in chat. Blues is the voice actor in SOS. He's voiced the main character.
Okay.
The mechanics should fold into what you're trying to do. So he mentioned like, oh, Masik having a roommate is useful because he's not going to monologue as much. Yeah, that's part of why I put the roommate mechanic in there, because it does something to the story. It allows me to not make it so many monologues because it's an audio drama. I need more dialogue scenes, and like Raven was saying, the mechanics of the simulation then allow for different plot elements. So I'd say always tie it in to something like whether it be something that you need or something that just benefits the plot or the form of what you're doing. That's the real power, I think, of having those unique mechanics, is you can use them for a purpose.
Exactly. A third zero wouldn't exist in Fate's Return if it wouldn't advance the themes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
All right. Confession time to all of you. What were your biggest mistakes in the process of creating your fangin, and how did you deal with them?
Casting voice actors too early.
Casting voice actors too early send tweet. I love them. I love the ones that have stayed. They are my children, even though most of them are older than me. They're my kids. But also,
you have broken Fangan law. We will have to execute you again.
I gotta go to super hell now by my own word.
You're already technically dead, but we're gonna have to kill you
Yeah.
again.
We can make you double dead.
Yeah, I feel like there is something to learn. There is a way to learn from my mistakes. 'Cause I would like to argue SF has bounced back in ways that none of us really anticipated. Because I know damn well, early days, as much as the voice actors love the project, I know damn well they all saw it and went, this is going nowhere. There's no way. There's no way. There's so little things here. And there was. I don't know why I cast VAs that early. But
the hype. The hype's the reason.
Yeah. It took a lot of dedication and hard work on my part. I literally wrote and rewrote the prologue in chapter 1, I think in 2 weeks, and it shows. My writing's very amateur that early, but there's still some gems in there, admittedly. But I think once the staff team saw the level of passion and the speed of the work that I put out after realizing how royally I screwed up, it really did save and made sure a lot of them stayed on as long as they have. I know the ones that immediately come to mind are Melvin and Piper. I truly don't know why they've stayed. And I'm grateful, along with others like Mochi. Hearts and I have been friends for years, so there's an advantage there. They can't get rid of me if they wanted to. But yeah, please don't cast your voice actors too early, and if you do, be ready for the consequences of it. Either lock in or recast. I can't lie, those are the options.
And that's how I got my job.
Okay, can I can be next because I have two mistakes that I thought about that I wanted to say. And first one was that I didn't change the engine that I was using for the first game, because for years I was making games in RPG Maker 2003 and it was fine. So I was like, so why should I change it? No, I should have changed it. I should absolutely have changed it because I didn't realize just how bad it is for visual novel style games that use sprites and CGs, because they get absolutely massacred in this resolution, and it doesn't have all the plugins that MV has. So yeah, the mistake was staying with 2003 for the first game and not having it look like the second one does. And the second mistake that I wanted to say was that I just wasn't treating this project too seriously at first, because I was always making games just for myself. I didn't think that anyone would actually play it, so I didn't treat it very seriously. And only after 3 chapters were released, I saw that there was interest, and I could have done this better. So the next chapters are a bit better, I think, because the first 3 chapters of my first game are very rushed, and this is something they want to fix somewhere in the future, maybe. But basically, I think I should have worked a bit more seriously on it from the start, and not try to make it better later in the later chapters. Because some people understandably try out the first game and see that the first 2 chapters aren't great, and they get discouraged from continuing, and it's not like I can blame them.
I can actually piggyback off of that. It's pretty clear here. We're remaking our prologue. You can probably make your conclusions on that. What big mistakes there were. Another one. Especially for video fangans, I was so scared of programming for such a long time. I was doing everything through pure video editing, and finally, for chapter 2, Data Life, I started instead of me painstakingly editing every single little thing in an editing program, I just programmed myself and DR style cutscene engine, and I just record the gameplay now. When what's it called? The Fangan engine thing that Sweden is working on.
DR editor.
DR editor?
Yeah, when DR editor comes out, even if you're doing a video series, use it.
Yeah.
Use it. It
Yeah.
will automate so much of the nitty-gritty work that you would be doing by having to type every single line of dialogue into editing program. It's so much wasted time that you're doing there because just take the shortcuts. Danganronpa is a video game. We emulate like gameplay. Use the shortcuts that are available for you.
Yeah, if you're
On the story
just-
side,
if you're trying to do a
sorry.
video
Sorry, for some context, what is DR editor for the people who don't know? Which is definitely not me. I definitely know.
DR editor is it's a Danganronpa style game like editing tool for Unity. So basically with that you can I don't know the specifics, but I believe that with like some script files and like notation on what sprites to use, you can make the engine create your Fangan cutscenes as in like, you know, daily life dialogue and such, even trial stuff. Like the program will sort of make them for you. You don't have to like
give you
do
like
the-
no programming.
to give you like a bit of a visual comparison, it's the like Eden's Garden ran on that engine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
EG ran on DR editor, and I can give a bit of a more of an explanation because what it basically is because that was a good description, but the one thing I will say is like what's really cool about DR editor, I'm not a programmer, but years ago I used an old version of DR editor, and Sweden only had to help me with a couple things, and nowadays when that comes out, it is going to be like anyone can use it. You do not need programming knowledge to use DR editor. And as I understand it, Empty is also doing something similar for RPG Maker MV that was announced at the con called Fangan Maker, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check it out. Check
So
out
there-
empty
there
stuff.
are
Check out Sweden
multiple-
stuff.
There are going, in a couple of years, the floodgates are going to be open in terms of like avenues of like things that will help ease your process and get you over one of the hurdles, which is like, because like Crunchy said, video editing. Don't try to do it just pure video editing, please. You will save
No,
yourself
it's a mistake. Do
so
not do
much time and pain, and it will demotivate you, or at least it did me. Anyway,
I had something else too.
go for it.
Another thing is that you probably should try to figure out like the plot, like the central plot, what's going on, or like why the game is happening, the exact details around that, if that's something that is like really relevant, because hadn't when I released the prologue and chapter 1, they were still somewhat up in the air, and when I've been refining the ideas to be a more cohesive package, I have had to retrofit and recontextualize details that are in the released material to get things to work. Don't be like me. Don't force yourself to retrofit things in. Try to like actually meticulously plan that sort of stuff that will be things that you foreshadow in the prologue.
Just to like wrap stuff up a little bit, because we've all been talking about and alluding to the fact that our old work obviously doesn't have as much polish as our newer stuff, and that is to be expected. However, on the other side of that, I also feel like there needs to be a point made that there's going to be a point in your development where good enough is okay. Like, you don't want to get stuck in this constant development cycle of reworking and rebuilding and redrawing and doing it all over again because now you've improved.
Yep.
The best way to show your improvement is to put out the old stuff to compare it against. The S of Prologue sucks.
Of course.
It's awful. I hate it. But but the new stuff's really good. And that's because you can compare it to how awful the prologue is.
Absolutely. I when you look at my first chapters and my current chapters, yeah, it's very cool to see the progress. I'm not
Yeah, so,
remaking anything until I'm done with the whole trilogy. Yeah.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with your older stuff being, you know, more bare bones, much more of a slapped together job, because of course it is. You're new to this, and that's okay. Get your shit out there.
That is true. Releasing something that isn't perfect is better than releasing nothing.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Banj?
I've never made a mistake in my life.
Oh, okay.
No.
Wow.
I'm hard pressed to find something I'd call a mistake, but that's because of the way I look back on things. I tend to look back on it like I think give yourself some credit a lot of the time is think about why you made that decision. The one for me that I think is actually kind of a mistake is that I kind of rushed my first daily life. If you watch SOS, the killing happens very quickly, both in universe and in the series. And that part of the point of that was I wanted to get to the good stuff, the thing that would make people want to watch my series. But I think it came a bit from a place of I don't think anyone's gonna like this, so I gotta get to like the really cool stuff and get people on board with that quickly. When now I think it's in the way a lot of people have responded to it. Actually, I've done a lot of surveys and stuff reflecting on these, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, I just don't know those characters well enough." The first victim, for example, people just don't know much about them, and that's quite a shame. So that's probably the biggest mistake I made was just sort of rushing through that groundwork. But I also made that decision for a reason, so I don't really feel like it's a mistake. It was a trade-off, and ultimately I think I would make a different decision now.
All right. Next question. So actually I'm gonna skip that one because that's basically the same as what was just asked. What's your biggest advice you can give when it comes to fangame direction?
Just do it, honestly. Like, I feel like we've all been saying these profound answers about the process and things that we've done or could do differently or would do differently, but like, just have fun with it. Do what you want to do. Don't be a dick. Don't cast your VAs early. That should be the takeaway, everyone. That should...
That is the takeaway of today.
However you want to do it, just do it. If it's something no other Fangan has done, fucking cool. Yeah, do it. You don't have to be like the rest of us. You don't have to be like anybody up here or anybody in the community. Be yourself, and you will find an audience, and you will have a lot more fun than if you were just like, how do I make a good Fangan? No, how do you make a good Fangan for you? I think is the question you need to ask.
Oh,
Pace yourself.
For you. Sorry.
Be yourself and pace yourself. We're running a marathon. This isn't the sprint.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes and keep releasing stuff instead of remaking the same thing again. Keep progressing and getting better.
The remake spiral is real.
Chat, I'm so sorry about the airplane. I cannot control it. I cannot control the
I
plane
literally
above
could
me.
not hear it.
You're not in the pilot seat right now?
Oh yeah, sorry
Maeve
guys.
is driving the plane.
I am flying the plane.
Why did you say it exactly at the moment when an airplane is coming over my house as well?
That's Maeve.
You're getting picked up, yeah. We're all getting on a plane together.
But go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's me left, right?
Yeah.
As a director, you're going to be doing a lot of work, and I think to a degree, you need to hold yourself to a standard. Treat yourself like a professional, especially because you're going to be the forward-facing person in a social environment, right? Like, you're going to have to present yourself to people quite well. Like, if you're recruiting voice actors, you want to be their friend, obviously, but you're also going to have to be an authority figure to be like, hey, look, I need those deadlines, done. Yeah. So it's a matter of having that respect for yourself and holding yourself to that standard and treating it slightly, not too much, because obviously you want to have fun. It's a hobby. Don't make this like a real job. It's not going to be a real job. But treat it to a degree kind of like it's a job. Just insofar as being professional about it, I'd say.
Yeah. All right. So we're getting into some writing questions here. What are some tips for writing a character in a fangin? Like discovering how a character's overarching storyline will go and inspiration for creating said storyline. And I think this is from Clover because there's a 4-leaf clover at the
Hi,
that's
Clover.
signed with it.
Hello.
Hi, Clover.
I could yap about this for hours.
Yeah, this is a
But-
big question.
Yeah, I can go in though on my very simple like tip for writing any character in anything. It's you will have a theme. If you're doing everything right, you will have a core theme. Tie that character into the theme. Tie all your characters into that theme, right? So let's say you have a fangan about like faith and doubt, right? That's a good like biometric theme, like hope and despair. Don't be too literal with it. Don't be like all 16 characters are priests, but tie all your characters into that idea. So you're like, okay, what elements of faith can I look into? Maybe one is religion. What elements of doubt? Maybe one person is like a serial liar. You can build it off in that very literal way, but also, maybe where your character's arc is self-doubt, and that's a lot more subtle, but it still ties into that. So always have like a pillar of a theme and fold everything into that, and it'll make your story so like cohesive, and everyone will think you're like amazing at writing. When really all you've just done is like, okay, I have one topic, and I'm just going to write every variant of it I can think of.
Banj stole my answer. Banj
I'm
stole my
sorry.
answer.
I didn't have a good answer locked and loaded, so I'm gonna just say, yeah, Banj totally stole my answer, guys. That was what I was gonna say word for word.
I think I can add to this a little bit. Sometimes your character isn't in charge of their own story, but they are kind of bounced around by their castmates. Like, don't develop like characters wholly alone. They are part of a cast. The cast needs to work together. They need to have dynamics. They need to have like different sort of interactions. So try to think about how they react and interact and react to each other, and how they would develop off of each other or the actions that the others do along the way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say only that the way I do things, it's like a bit backwards. That I start with what role I want this character to have. And I'm often starting with characters as blank slates, as the roles in this story, and I build them around what I want them to do. What kind of character would be interesting for this scenario? What kind of backstory would they have to make it fitting to what they will do? And often the arcs are also written a bit backwards. When I start with how do I want them to end up, what crazy story they will get in, and then I try to backtrack what kind of events would bring them to such a conclusion, what kind of starting points would be interesting for the arc. Yeah, the time in your writing is not going the same way the time in the story. It can go any way you want, and you don't have to start with the character and then think what they will do. Of course, this is just my way of doing this. There are various types of writing.
Yeah, I actually did think of an answer in the time that we all sat here, and I totally said Banch stole my answer. I think there is value in having very deeply flawed characters. Anybody who has played SF knows damn well. Woof. Anyway, and I know it seems really easy to do. And to an extent, I'm sure every director, every writer has fallen into this pitfall at some point, where your characters will behave perfectly logically in line with the story. But there is something really cool, and I always love seeing it in fangans in any media, to have hypocrites, to have people that have these beliefs so ingrained into them that it impacts their judgment and their decision making. And even though they're doing something objectively wrong, and something that seems out of character, if it can be justified by their core values as a person, then I think it elevates their characters so much more than anything you could possibly write out explaining a backstory or getting into their trauma or whatever. Actions speak so much louder than words, even in fangans.
But is it really a fangan character if they don't have a tragic backstory?
That's true.
Back in Game of Thrones. All right. This is so. I'm gonna skip over the questions
Oh.
below this because it's pretty much the same as like something we answered earlier. Silly one here. Thoughts on using memes / slang / references in your fangin? Do you fear it becoming an outdated joke?
No.
The more outdated, the
No.
better. I think that adds to the ironic humor. Personally, I know not everyone feels that way, but I think it's funny as hell. Looking back like 3 years ago and seeing really
Every
shitty
story is a product
outdated
of its
jokes.
time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I'm gonna
Every-
say. You can't write a story that will have no elements that will become outdated.
Exactly.
You can try to limit it a bit. You can try to like slow down with making 6-7 jokes and stuff if you want, but you can't avoid entirely making things that will get outdated. So don't worry about too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. If you look at the actual series, you know, it makes those references. I don't think anyone thinks it's a worse set of games for it. I don't know. I'm a big person for me. I like continuity with the original series, so I like to look at how that's written and base it on that. So I don't really have a problem with it because it happens a lot in the original Danganronpa.
That fucking bear is
and
making
yeah,
a
like
reference every other second.
literally.
So.
But
Yeah.
I do that with my mascot. You know, I had Monopengu scream freaky stuff the other in one of the episodes, and maybe like that'll become outdated. But you know, it's funny,
Yeah.
and
No,
people
I
will look
relate
back
to
at it and be
that.
like, I remember when people said that.
I relate to that so much. I know I've had Maeve record some pretty weird things that like are funny today, but in like 3 years we're gonna look back and be like, why did we make Maeve say that?
Why'd
Wonder-
Blue do that? Why'd Blue do that? Why'd you
I can
Blue do
I,
that?
I don't mind saying this. It's such a non-spoiler, and I think it's funny. Why is there a 100-line reference just so aggressively shoehorned in halfway through the chapter? You know,
that was
like
so
what are
much
you
fun.
doing?
I love.
I have one
that.
too.
We love 100 line here.
About like
Yeah.
about like the story, references and stuff not aging well, like and everything being a product of its time. Like even canon Danganronpa has had like things that might have been okay-ish to say and do the things they are in 2010, but it is not okay in 2026.
Yeah.
Like the only thing we need to look at for that is Trigger Happy Habits Chapter 2.
Yep.
Oh, I knew it.
Yep.
There's a lot of examples. Like I sort of got flashbanged by like most of them while you were talking. I was like, oh yeah, they did that. But you know, it's something.
Yeah.
It's one of them.
Every work is a product of its time.
Mm.
Yeah.
For better or for worse.
All right. Getting back kind of into something a bit more serious here. How do you come up with motives?
Once again,
I know.
mostly backwards. So I usually start with what is the main story of this chapter and what kind of murder and the circumstances of it I want, and then I think what kind of motive would work for this chapter and how it would cause the people to act the way they will act. That's my way of.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say much because I kind of build the SF motives as something to enhance the murders because I wrote the mechanics of all of the murders first before any of the motives.
Oh.
So the motives kind of enhance the murders instead of explain why the murders took place because I think all the SF murders are character driven instead of given motive driven. So don't ask me, I don't know. Well,
LOL.
This is also an awkward one for me because SOS hasn't had a motive yet. Like, there's been no given motive yet. Maybe there is in chapter 2. Who knows? But I guess look at what would drive people to kill realistically, right? Well, look at your cast and be like, what would get you guys going? Even if they don't actually do it, even if they're the motive to kill, the reason they actually kill is something different. You have to think about. I recommend just doing this for each character individually, so you know ahead of time what would drive this person to kill. You know, what inside them, what darkness is there inside them that could be coaxed out, and how could that be coaxed out? You know, that's how I would go about coming up with them.
actually, I kind of lied. I do have a quick thing just real quick. Just as like a tidbit, and what I say obviously isn't the be all end all. Like you shouldn't do this or you should do that. I personally am not a fan of motives where if nothing happens for X amount of time, you all die. I think that takes away a lot of agency from the characters, and instead of making something where it's like, no, you could survive with this. It's gonna be hard, but you could, hypothetically speaking, go the rest of your lives in the facility that you guys are in without killing each other. Because the whole point of the given motives is to be that final nudge to people that are already on the brink. And I think being like, if you don't kill in 3 days, I'm killing you all anyway, is a really, like, I don't want to say lame. I feel like saying lame seems too mean. But it's just a bit of a moot point. It is lame. Like, you could come up with something better and more character-specific instead of, but we were all gonna die anyway. Yes, this does count starvation motives. That's also a timer-based motive that will kill everybody. You can be more fucked up and evil with it, and I encourage you to do so.
I personally think that, well, in my case, the motives, or in my case, experiments, also inform of the character who's giving them out. But outside of that, you can still play with things like, how does this motive cause conflict? Because the thing that, like, the motives that the mascots give out, they're supposed to cause conflict. They want conflict within the cast, so they will be driven to murder. This is your time to shuffle the deck, make dynamics go insane, push people to the brink. Even if they don't, even if they don't take the motive as a reason to kill someone, it can still be a point in their character development or show a character moment or like push them near a murder. Like, they don't have to be driven to murder someone to be affected by it and for it to be used in their personal story.
Yeah. Yeah. That's...
Yeah.
All right.
Yippee! Yippee!
Is that... Did everybody answer that?
I believe so, yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Kind of similar-ish question in like in kind of that killing planning type, murder planning type thing, but what is your process for writing complex but still solvable murders?
Play Ace Attorney.
God.
That's real.
You just play Ace Attorney.
A lot. Think a lot. And then when you think you're done thinking, think more.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of work.
Start with the original idea and then think, how can I make it crazier and even more? And what else I can add?
Yeah, I'm going to be alluding to SF spoilers without saying them outright when I say this, but I think the lack of evidence is just as powerful as evidence itself. And that is a big thing in especially the second chapter, without saying, but like wink, wink, nudge, nudge, if you know, you know. Because I think it's cooler if everything is not spelled out, but it's done in a way where it's like, there's so many things that it couldn't be, and that only leaves the truth. Even if there's no evidence to back it, it's the only thing left for you to say. And then let that drive the story. I think it's really cool.
That's the Sherlock Holmes approach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, build... come up with like 1 or 2 questions, build from there. And something I do, then what I think would be helpful, and not something people talk about a lot, trying to, like, while you're writing your case and like the murder plan, try to keep like on the side in mind, like, how is this murder going to be solved? Because your cases probably are going to have to be solvable. So keep in mind how they're going to be solved. At the same time, develop them both hand in hand. What the trial structure is going to be like. What evidence do you have to make? Like, because sometimes you might be in the midway of the trial and realize, oh no, there's actually no way these characters have figured this out. But if you develop both at the same time, you can just go back to the investigation and be like, or the murder plan and be like, well, if we leave this piece of evidence behind, that will give them a clue in the trial to how to solve this.
Yeah, I think there's some merit to like create the perfect murder and then like fuck it up in really minor ways.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I've been laughing a lot because that literally happened to me. I wrote a merge, I was like, they can't solve this is too good. And yeah, I had to go back and put in mistakes to make it work.
It's real.
I suppose the way I conceptualize it is actually sort of tied into that. I view everything as pieces. Everything that's in the story and in the case is a piece, and there's always a solution. It's just about maneuvering them. A lot of stuff in chapter 1 of SOS was sort of, I remembered I had set something up. I wrote, like, this is something you can do, right? It's like, oh, I need a murder weapon, but the one I'm doing here, I want to be a red herring, so where's the murder weapon going to come from? And you remember you mentioned a knife, like 4 episodes ago? Use the knife. And people will think you're so smart. I think you set that up. Like,
Chekhov's gun the shit out of your Fangan. Please.
It's a retroactive Chekhov's gun, though. You can make things into Chekhov's guns, right? Because that's just a piece.
Retrofit things if need be.
Yeah, everything in your story is a piece that can be maneuvered for a mystery case. And so that's how I view it. You know, and my characters as well are pieces. I'm like, oh, I need someone to be a red herring who's not busy. Who's not actually involved in the trial? Who can I fold in and who has enough tied into everything else? Who can I put in this position? And then the audience may think like, oh, they've got enough going on that they're a credible, potential candidate. Also, I'd say frequently take a step back and almost view it from the character's POV. I did that a lot writing the trial specifically. I would go down these rabbit holes of logic and I would just like, oh, I can just make the character say that. I take a step back and be like, oh, but what if it was this? And I'd be like, oh, the character can just say that. And even though it's wrong, that's going to give us, like, some dynamics within the trial. And eventually we can get to the truth. But yeah, I probably do this wrong. I write myself into corners constantly. And I take great joy in finding my way out of them. But you probably shouldn't write yourself into corners in the first place. So I think the rest of the advice on the panel is probably better than mine.
All right. Okay, so this is okay. Do you have favorite characters or ships in your projects? Not asking about any specific named examples, more about how do you approach them when working on the Fangan?
Can I abstain?
Same. I have like a policy on this, kinda. This is something that comes up a lot, actually. On my own streams, I don't really like my characters in the way like people do. I'm the writer. I'm not a fan. Shipping is a fan concept. Liking the characters is a fan thing. I'm not a fan. I'm the writer. I don't get to have that perspective on these characters. That's how I view it personally.
Yeah.
These are your children.
No, they are not. They are functions of the plot, and I will deal with them as I see fit. Like that's how I view them.
They're like my toys that I like to play with.
Yeah. There are little Barbie dolls.
I have my favorite characters, but I like all of them, and I try to not be biased or something. Like obviously, you will sometimes have some favorites, but I think you have to be careful that it doesn't show too much. Like if a character gets treated better than others, I don't mean by surviving or by having less pain on them, but more like if the story is trying too much to tell you that this person is cool and they are right, and the person who is against them is not right, then it's a bit it makes the story worse, I think. And the same is with not liking characters. I don't think you should have characters that you don't like. You cannot like them as if they were people, like if someone is a horrible person, but I don't think you should have characters that you don't like as characters, because if you don't like them as characters, then that just make them better. Don't have a character that's there to be for everyone to hate them, and don't bring anything to the story, because why?
Yeah.
As for the ships, sadly, I'm one of the ship-pilled people in the fandom, and I love ships. and I love ships in my own games as well. And of course, there are some canon ships in my games, and I like them. But I also I always am happy when I see someone coming up with some rare perk that I didn't think about, and I'm like, oh, this would be fun. They would be fun and so unhealthy. I love it. Yeah, go for it.
yeah.
Come up with more ships. I want to see all of them. And
Yeah, I think I heard Maeve give a chuckle when I said, "Can I abstain from the ship question?" for a very very obvious reason. If you play SF, because there is a canon couple. I have my thoughts on them, and I really can't get into it here. So you just might have to play the series.
Might
Go
be.
play
it's a bit of a doozy, guys.
I don't know. You might just have to play all of these fangans. That is.
Yeah,
that
you
is
might.
You can't
possible.
play
You may have to
mine.
watch and play all of these.
No, like I truly
Amazing
can't get
product.
into the canon ship in SF without spoiling everything up until right now. But like, I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts on relationships and fangans. I think they can work so well, and you can do so
Yeah,
much
for
with
sure.
them. And
The-
also
the
watch. Oh,
okay, continue.
I was gonna say, I think there's a bit of sadistic joy I get watching the community ship people in SF that I know are gonna be toxic as hell like 3 chapters from now.
Nice, nice.
That is so
Always
true.
fun. I think that especially in Survivors Guild, but probably in the third game as well, because that's just my style. The romance plots are so crucial to the story. I know that a lot of people don't like romance in Fangans. That's fine, but I like it, and love in various forms is very important in my stories. Not only romantic love, but other types of love as well.
May this be a theme?
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what I was saying about sort of, I feel like I railed against shipping a bit. I didn't mean like writing romance arcs. Romance arcs are like fantastic things to put in there. I just think like shipping from the fandom perspective is very different to that, as I think we've all sort of illustrated
yeah.
slightly.
100%.
I get you. I get you.
Yeah.
At what point, when a writer or a director is shipping a character, does it just become a romance arc at that point? Like
It depends, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like, did you plan for it?
yeah, fair.
So now I feel awkward because I'm the arrow ace in the group who does not like thinking about what my characters like. I don't know what my character's sexualities are. They
Neither do
figure
I.
out them before I do. Like I've literally been writing things in like chapter 4, chapter 5, and being like, "Oh, this character's gay."
Yeah.
I've never had that experience personally.
I have the rule that I announce the sexualities as start with the other data of the characters, because I'm really not a fan of discourse in the fandom, so I just don't want people to get into arguments over the headcanon, so I just want to be clear with it. And that's also why I'll tell people all the time that please don't fight over ships, please ship what you want, I don't care, just be respectful to each other.
I just
That's
like
really
people
interesting.
headcanon the sexualities. Like, if
Yeah,
it becomes relevant, I'm gonna, like, if it becomes relevant for a character, I'm probably gonna, like, allude to it in the story, but otherwise, literally just do whatever you want. Like, honestly, the character sexualities are mostly a suggestion. The internet is going to internet. The internet is not going to care if a character does, if a character is straight. There will be gay ships with them. The internet does not care if a character, like, the internet is going to internet, and sometimes, trying to police the internet,
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a losing
It's
battle.
a fool.
I never want to police what the fans are doing. Just like I said, just be respectful, and
Yes.
I won't be policing what you ship or what you should do with these characters. They're just toys that I'm giving you to play.
Yeah.
As a director, your protagonist and your antagonist will be shipped together. You will not like it. It's a fact
Yes.
of life. We all
will
been
like
there.
it.
Oh, I guess you're gonna like it. News to me.
Yeah, just don't bring like the ship art and that sort of stuff in front of us unless we are like explicitly okay with it.
Like me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
Like Raven.
don't bring your ship art, and especially like not safe for work stuff to me. I don't want to
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah, no, I'm the
You
same.
get that?
That part's fine. Not
Oh, yeah,
safe for
yeah,
work,
of course. Like,
Oh wow.
I don't mind not safe for work, but don't show it in public where kids can see it. Yeah, like just like have like adult faces only, and I don't. I'm not gonna police you there, but be careful. Don't show inappropriate content to kids in the fandom. Like make sure of that.
True.
Real. Very
True.
Don't be
true.
a dumbass.
True.
Especially important in this fandom.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
important thing to say, especially considering what our charity for Fanganconpa was, which was ECPAT, which is a like sexual trafficking prevention, or like just minor protection kind of
Yeah.
program.
And child prostitution and trafficking.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
I was trying to say that. Which we raised over $8,000 for that. So by the end of that, so
Woo.
yeah.
And thank you everyone for contributing. We literally could not have done that without you guys' support.
Truth nuke.
Damn right.
True.
Damn right. You all
Thank you
asked
so
for
much.
this. What you're looking at right now, you paid for this.
The
It's
ship discourse panel was funded by you.
All right.
It's genuinely incredible, though. Sort of, I came in and saw that I was not being involved in it. Seeing the amount of money, that's genuinely amazing from everyone involved.
Yeah.
It was a
I
huge
suppose as an
agreement.
outsider, I just want to be like, wow,
It
that really impressed me.
It was very insane. We are at 1 hour 30, so I am gonna start like speeding up, like in terms of like
Of course,
asking
of course.
for like a little bit
Mhm.
faster.
Crunch time.
in terms
Oh.
of responses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
speaker.
But no, you're perfectly fine. I actually am going to skip the next one because I think we already answered that. How hard is it?
Can I say one more thing?
Go for it.
Sorry. There's one important thing. A pitfall that can happen early writing wise.
Gotcha.
This is general writing advice. Kill your darlings. You might
Yeah.
have an idea you think is great, but it actually sucks ass. Kill your darlings. Sometimes your
Yep.
favorite ideas don't work, and you have to accept it and cut them.
Real.
Yep.
Yeah. Real. Anybody else have?
Sorry.
I think that might tie
we did
into the
kinda
next
answer that
question,
earlier.
actually.
So at least I thought, but I apologize. I can ask.
No, I apologize for jumping in like that.
No, you are.
No, it's good
perfectly fine.
advice. I'm a great believer in kill your darlings. Like,
Yeah.
this is what I said about the vision. Is everything is for the vision. Your own, like, you have to sacrifice your own feelings sometimes. Do make
Yeah.
a good story.
Kill your darlings, both idea-wise and character-wise.
Yes.
Real. How hard is it not to be biased on who you pick to die?
This was never an issue for me.
Extremely easy.
Yeah.
Skip for me.
So easy. Yeah, just like it's a story. It's not. You're not
Yeah.
having fun with your OCs anymore once you take on a project like this. You are writing a story, and the story comes first. It's so
Like
easy. Just
Like I
kill
said,
people who need to die.
I start with characters' roles, so I pretty much know they are going to die before I have 90% of their personality. So I'm not really they have a problem. Later, it hurts because wow, this character has become so cool. They're so nice in this story, and they're still dying. Chapter 4.
I recently went through what Raven just described, like with Chapter 3 daily life. It was rough. It was watching my breakdown in real time, the lost potential of a character, because I just put them in a spot and then wrote them after. It's real. It will happen to you, and it's terrifying but rewarding. So it's really not that big of a deal. I love that that SOS comment that you just made, Banj, made me like moderate. Is this okay to show? Sorry, I just want the music to describe that.
I just said I will kill any and all SOS characters with zero hesitation, which I will because it's sort of what I said earlier, right? About I'm not like I don't like my characters. I'm not a fan of any of them, so I don't have those biases. You know, with the whole kill your darlings thing, none of them are my darlings, so I don't care about killing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will also kill any and all Fates Return characters with zero hesitation. If it serves the story, it's your time to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Can't be self-indulgent, I think. That's just a big general thing.
Yeah.
I mean, be self-indulgent to a degree. You gotta like your
Yeah.
project.
Yeah, you gotta have
Yeah.
fun.
yeah.
Don't be overly self-indulgent. You're compromising the story and other people's experience, consuming it for
Exactly.
just, I like this character.
Uh,
But they're
Priest-
my blurbo.
I have a feeling this one's going to be pretty simple. How do you balance screen time for characters that'll inevitably die early on while still making who will die next a mystery?
I
Oh, I
cheated.
don't. Next question.
I
It's
I
not that
cheated.
easy,
I made it so
but-
my first victim. It's not a secret that they die. It's pretty clear. They raised like 15 death flags, but unfortunately, I made the case one where knowing that they die just makes the whole thing more painful.
I think just
yeah.
that you have to give them a bit screen time, but if you you don't have to give screen time in chapter 1 to everyone. I mean, a bit of screen time, but not a lot of screen time. But if you give screen time to several characters, then not all of them are going to die. So there will be some mystery, I think.
Yeah, I think I wrote actually a lot for this because we saw some of these questions beforehand. But I guess to be simple, I think the main series does it really well in that they make the most of very little screen time. If you look at 2 and V3, not to spoil who the first victims are, but they make them very interesting just by their place in the story or like based on pre-existing information. Like a little bit about what this character is already, and you're like, oh, that's so interesting, and then they're dead, and you're like, whoa, wait, that's crazy. So I guess it's just about being efficient with your screen time and taking shortcuts to be like, okay, here's something that is instantly interesting that you can latch onto about that character, and then you're like, whoa, wait, that guy was so interesting, what happened there? So yeah, that's what I'd say.
I'm bad at balancing screen time. Don't ask me this ever again. You won't get a
Yeah.
chance.
Okay. Moving on. So this is a fun one that this is actually a fun one. Have any of you ever tried to tackle anything with multiple routes in your death order? If yes, how would you go about it?
No. Best I can
hi,
do
guys.
is a very fucked up bad end.
I pray for your sanity if you're trying to do this.
Mm.
Respect, but I
hey.
pray for your sanity.
So, like, I don't do death order changes, but I feel like people who play SF, it's like, yeah, that's the POV swap Fangan. That's the Fangan that refuses to stay as the protagonist because we all hate him. Spoilers for Chapter 3 Daily Life mechanics-wise, but I won't say who or what actually happens in the chapter. At the very beginning of Chapter 3 as a whole, and maybe this is inadvertently giving people hints to Deadly Life, in which case I wish you luck guessing that trial. There's a big theme in that chapter of choice, and the illusion of choice. The first thing you do in Chapter 3 is you are given choice 1, choice 2. And you don't exactly know what you're picking until after you pick it. And then it tells you, hey, you're on this route. If not, you're on that route. And you still go through these same major events. Like, the story was always destined to pan out the way that it does. You still see the same victim at the end of the daily life. But different events get recontextualized because you're now forced to see it through a different lens. And now, instead of having one unreliable narrator in the protagonist, now you get your choice of what flavor of unreliable narrator you want to play. And you're not gonna get the full picture until you play both of them and understand both characters well enough to decipher their bullshit. And I think it's my favorite thing that I've done in the series.
I love unreliable narrators.
I love unreliable narrators, and SF has 16 of them. No.
In Survivor's Guild, you have the thing that every Deadly Life you have 2 people that you control, the protagonist and another person that changes each trial, and without spoiling in which one, in one of them it's the killer. So
Hell yeah.
that's
Honestly.
fun.
How
It was
silly.
so much fun to write their lines without saying anything that isn't true, but without spoiling that they are the killer.
Honestly, if your characters aren't unreliable narrators to a point, you're doing something wrong because every character has their own biases.
Yeah. But yeah, so as somebody who has done like multiple routes, but still not something big enough that would alter the death order,
to kind of recontextualize that into the Death Order question, I think you should be making a 100-line fan project if you're going to be that ambitious.
Yeah.
And you should look into 100-line. I think having multiple routes where the deaths change could be cool. And if you're into that, you should play Your Turn to Die.
Yeah, I think it's a butterfly effect, right? If you change Death Order, you're writing a different story, so you have to write a second story, basically. Which, if you're ready to do that, fair play, but you're gonna have to write 2 Fangans at that point.
Welcome to your
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
reason why Distrust became a Trigger Happy Havoc instead of retaining its multiple routes.
Yep.
This is your 2x2. But all right. We good to move on to the next question?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I'm a new Fangan director who plans on creating multiple of these types of projects in a row. How do you stay motivated to keep at it for a long time?
Find
I
something
wouldn't
in
agree-
your story to be motivated about. Don't tie your motivation to Danganronpa, because your Danganronpa interest will likely fade at some point. But if the story itself you're trying to tell motivates you, that'll carry you far further than your fandom interest ever could.
I'm not. I don't want to be too discouraging, but if you're a new Fangan director, I would not recommend planning several projects immediately. I would recommend to start with one and see how much time it takes you, how much work it takes you, and focus on that and try to get at least that one finished. And if you're like over halfway done and you see that this is what I can do more of it, then plan the next one while still focusing on this one, the current one. Don't try to make a trilogy if you haven't done a single game yet.
Yep.
Yeah, took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was going to say.
All right.
For motivation, I think it's always good to get external motivation, talk to people about the project. If it's something that's being put out there publicly, read some comments, see what other people like about it, and not remind you what you like about it. Like we said, you've got to find something that motivates you, something you like that will keep you motivated, will keep you going. What do you like about the project? And you need to find ways to remind yourself. So sometimes rewatch it. Talking about it to people is what I find. Whenever we do a stream talking about old SOS episodes, I find new things that I like about it. And I'm like, oh, I actually like doing this. Because sometimes it feels like I don't. Sometimes it feels like I hate making a fanga. But then I'll talk to someone about it and they'll be like, oh, I love this moment. This really hit for me. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I like doing that. I loved writing that. That's what this is all about. You've got to remind yourself now and then. And that's what keeps you motivated, I'd say.
Yeah.
All right. We good to move on to the next question?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. I don't know how quick this one will be, but how do you best decide your staff? I think everyone is so good, but I can't have them all.
Well, I started with my wife, so that's
Yeah.
that was obvious.
How do you decide on your wife?
How did you pick your wife for the role?
Can we have the whole backstory of your
Yeah,
whole marriage?
but not gonna run the joke too much because I don't have that much time. I still haven't made a Fangan with a huge team, but with the people that I want to be working on, I want to look for people who are talented, but who are also trustworthy, at least based on the things that I see about them. I definitely have a lot of people that I met in the community that I would love to work with. So that is always a plus because I'd much rather have someone who is talented and also like a cool person. Well, cool person, not as they have to be super awesome but you know what I mean. Someone who doesn't get into trouble and is nice to work with and things like that.
Yeah, I think
I don't know if I was
think
making.
no, that made sense. I think if you're this sounds like a voice actor casting question, the way it's worded. So I'm gonna treat it as such. I feel like if you are between a group of people for a certain role and you think everybody's good and you're having a lot of trouble picking somebody, and this can be extrapolated to other departments as well, but I think something that a lot of new directors, young directors tend to neglect is doing a background check into their reliability. Like, don't never be afraid to take chances on the VAs that you cast. Sometimes you're going to be the first Fangan to have the next quote unquote big Fangan VA, but like the next well-known Fangan VA.
The next
don't
Brigida.
but also like there are people in this community that are known to be incredibly reliable, and you know that because you see them everywhere. Like, listen, I see him in chat. We dog on Turk so much because he is John Fanganconpa, but there's a reason for that.
He is the
one
GOAT.
of the
The
most
GOAT.
reliable voice actors.
He's been there for, I think, every SOS casting call aside from a recast for a female character. Like,
Yeah. No, like
yeah.
I think you gotta look for the reliability. Is the best way to form like a staff team that's going to stick through prologue to chapter
Yes.
6. Speaking of, hi Turg and hi Piper. I mentioned them earlier, I'm mentioning them again. Some of the most reliable people in the community. I'm talking about them, and you guys should look into both of them. Anyway.
Exactly.
Very much agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Try to also like take advantage of people's strengths. Like if you have a specific role that you're going to go for, if it's not voice acting, try to like, you know, for art, it might be like atmosphere and quality about a certain process if this person is going to be doing like some specific things. For writing, it might be like characteristic portraying. For voice acting, it could be like tackling a character's vibe and their emotional core and range of the character. You want this person to be able to bring their best into the role and you know, fulfill it the best they can. So if you're still in a process where you haven't done your application posts yet, tailor them so they bring out these core parts of the people who are going to be working with you. Yeah, because someone could be a phenomenal like person for like someone who is kind of like a monotone or like a more of like a subdued character, but if they have like frequent like emotional outbursts, that voice actor might struggle with it, and you want to like make sure in the audition lines that you hit some of that emotional range so they don't get blindsided out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'd also say, bring it back to communication, just talk to people. You'll get a good impression of, is this someone I can work with, just from a few like chats. Especially if they're a voice actor, you can talk about the character. If there's someone you're bringing on maybe after the project started, you can ask them, oh, hey, what do you like about this series? And yeah, just get to know people, and you can base it off of that, really. And you can do that in quite a short amount of time before you hire anyone. I know a lot of the people I work with now, I sort of spoke to quite a bit before we even started recording, and that really gave me an idea of, okay, you're going to be like one of my favorite people to work with, or you know, okay, this may be a relationship that needs, you know, I'll need to push a bit, or maybe you know, you'll see, you can get an impression, you can get a vibe just from talking to people. So I really recommend that.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got 2 art questions here, but honestly, from what I'm seeing, kinda, they're pretty similar, I'd say. How do you manage the art process? For example, how do you decide which artists draw which CGs, sprites, promo art, and multiple artists working on one CG with sketches, line art, and rendering? Yeah, basically like.
Okay, I'm
handle
skipping this
giving out
question
those
because I
tasks.
just work with my wife most of the time.
I was gonna say, can I steal Raven's answer and just say hire your wife?
Hey, Liv.
I'm skipping this question because I'm the insane person who draws all the art by themselves.
Oh my god.
But
My answer is also interesting. I have a very limited suite of artists, and so I'm like, hey, can you do this? Yes, no. If they can do it, yes. If they
Yes,
can't,
no,
they can't.
maybe so.
Yeah, it's just communicate. Just see who's available for what, who is willing to do it, and if they're willing to do it, be like, okay, cool, do this.
Yeah, don't
It's
get
a
me wrong.
volunteer project. You need people to volunteer. Ask if they can
Right.
volunteer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So well, it sounds like I'm the only one with an answer.
Because don't get me wrong, I do a vast majority of the SF artwork, and I think as a director, especially if you're doing a medium that requires more visuals, if you're doing a video series or a game, I think the director should be doing most of the visuals. If not, I doubt your Fangan's gonna go anywhere unless you're paying your artists. On that note, it sounds like this person is talking about like a production pipeline for art. And to that I say, fuck the pipeline. I think SF has some of the most inconsistent art styles across the series, even across the sprites, and it almost adds to the charm of it in a weird way, like in an ass-backwards way. I truly think you are making a fan project. Make it exist first. If you want to go back and make everything consistent, you can work on that as the project develops. But just make it exist, because I think thinking like this in like that production pipeline mindset, you're going to get stuck in like the like production, like not the scope creep. Yeah, Croncy said it in chat earlier, but like you're going to get caught in that. So just, I feel like don't really pay much mind to continuity and art styles. It's just gonna bog you down. If it happens, and that's great. But it probably won't, and that's also okay.
I'd say work with the pieces you have, not with the pieces you want. If you have an artist who can do X, let them do X. Don't ask them for Y. You work with what you have, not with what you want. Like Blues said in the chat, when we started SOS, I commissioned one sprite for every character, and I was like, right, we're doing it. Every text box is gonna have the one sprite. I don't care if Kokoro is smiling and waving while a gruesome murder's happening. I just need a visual. And yeah, that was me working with what I had, not with what I want.
Yeah.
And now I have what I want because I have loads of sprites because I have an amazing team.
All right. So this is a bit of a topical question, I think, and a very important one to ask. How would you best handle a problematic member on the team? It feels like a pretty topical question currently, and I would love advice were it ever to happen to me, though I hope to God I never will.
We all hope that we never have to do that.
Yeah. Croncy, I think you typed something out in our like director chat that I think summarizes it pretty nicely, if you just want to say that.
Yeah. So I have not had to deal with this myself, and I hope I never have to. No director wants to have to deal with something like this, ever.
No.
In the light of recent events, I have asked the Fates Return staff to tell me if they hear of problematic behavior from our staff members. If we hear something, we'll be investigating it with other team members, and we will be transparent about the progress to the reporter. I would like to give more detailed advice, but unfortunately, we cannot have a single blanket response to every situation. Every situation has its own different circumstances and evidence that will have to be judged individually.
Yeah.
Depending on the seriousness and verifiability of the claims, we might have to give the staff member a warning about their behavior or outright remove them from the production. We do not stand for keeping people who harm the community in our teams. The best thing you can do as a director is to make clear that you are a safe person to report these things to, and if you hear of things, things will get done.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good response, honestly, just in general, honestly, unless anybody has anything to add.
I can absolutely agree with this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreeing.
Yeah, like many things, it's always just it depends, and don't be stupid.
Don't be a dumbass.
Yeah.
Real.
Get as much information as you can, treat it seriously, and don't do every this big decision on your own, but consult it with your team.
All right. I'm going to start bouncing with questions a bit, just because we are about 5 or so minutes from having to wrap up, I believe, because we said 2 hours. So
we're coming up on that.
All right. Yeah, it's okay. We had 40 questions to go through, guys. It was very improbable that we were going to make it through all of them. But I do feel we haven't really had a lot of voice actor questions. So how do you all handle voice directing in the scripts for the VAs? Or the direction of the voice, or is the direction of the voice something the voice actors do independently?
I mean, I have an answer if no one else does. Give you guys a minute
I
to
do
think.
too.
I won't be
I do
answering
too,
this
but I've
anyway
gone
because
first way too many
I barely
times.
have voice acting so far.
Yeah, fair. I was just gonna say, I know it's different for everybody, but I give my voice actors the entire script, the voice actors, and the entire staff team, aside from side characters and beta testers. They know all the spoilers, because I think it's important for them to understand where their characters are going before they get there. Because then, if your voice actors are knowledgeable enough, and I think the entire SF staff team is as brain-rotted about the Fangan as I am, if not in some instances, sometimes it's more. They understand these characters so well, and we're at the point where I barely have to direct them. I give them the script, and they kind of know exactly what they're doing. But early on, I definitely offered live direction where needed. I still do it sometimes. I'm always open to giving more clarification or giving more information on certain scenes and what these characters are feeling in those moments to guide the voice direction, as opposed to just giving, like, this is the emotion they're feeling. Sound disgusted, because in a lot of cases, it's a lot more nuanced than that. And your voice actors are very talented and very capable of capturing that nuance, and you should use that. So,
Yeah, similarly, I place a lot of trust in my actors. I give them the script for the episode, and I don't give any direction initially, because we've got a good. With most of my team, I'd like to think they think this as well. We have quite a robust understanding of the characters. I will go over every couple episodes or whenever it's relevant a big here's a bunch of character information. Talk to me, ask me questions. Tell me how you perceive this character, and I will do that back and forth work. I've only ever done it over text mostly. I've had a few on-call discussions, but usually it's just paragraphs back and forth of, here's this character, I want to know how you understand them, and I'll explain to you how I've written them. And then, usually, because my cast are wonderfully talented, they just go off and do it, and they deliver a great performance, which I then just have to bring in line for specific lines. Sometimes whole scenes, sometimes they'll just not have the right vibe, and I'll go, okay, you need to do this. This is what's going through the character's head, which I think is really efficient, actually. Again, you have to kind of be blessed with really good voice actors, but if you are, trust them, and just bring them in line. It's so much quicker than having to direct every single line individually. And also, they're actors. They're not they act. They're good at this. This is what they do. Yeah. Let them make the character their own. It's not just yours anymore once you print that script. This is theirs as much as it is yours. It's their character now, and they will bring something new to it. They will bring something of themselves to it, and that is a wonderful thing that you should take advantage of.
Yeah. I'm going to bring in an entirely different perspective. I feel like I'm going against everything that has been said. Personally, I'm really secretive about what happens in Fate's Return. The VAs don't know before they reach this, before they get the lines to read. So I leave in brackets a few words of voice direction before each line. Initially, I didn't do much voice direction line by line, but I actually asked my VAs, and my VAs prefer having line by line direction. For some, it's helpful, and they went out of their way to ask me to add them to prior scripts because it's helpful for them. Be it because they are neurodivergent and might not be able to might not be able to pick it up straight from the text. Maybe what you have in mind is different from what the character has things in mind. What you have in mind is different from what the VA has in mind. There are very much differing interpretations, ways people understand characters, visions for how a scene is going to go. For trial script, I typically leave the few words between before each line, giving a bit of voice direction, because the script typically gives a bit of context for how the character's feeling. For CGs, I explain the scene a bit more detail and give a pretty detailed explanation on the character's mindset during that scene, in addition to the per line voice direction.
That's really interesting. I think the one thing you touched on there, which is do what works for your actors. Everything's a case by case basis, right? That's one of the big takeaways from this panel. And just what do your actors like? Because ultimately they're the ones who have to record like 100 lines or whatever. 100 line mention. Yeah, they're the ones who have to record a bunch of lines. So make it as easy for them as possible because it's a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna start really narrowing down questions here. What's your most successful approach to advertising your fangin?
I shouldn't be trusted on this. I suck at advertising.
Make Fangancon. Next question.
So I can say like two things. One is that being active in various places, like on Twitter, on Reddit, or on Discord servers, if you want. It's not everyone likes doing that. Yeah. And the second thing, I believe that this release stuff, because it will always be easier to get people to play or watch your Fangan when you have at least one full chapter, or even better, more than when you have like very cool character designs and nothing else. Just keep working on it, and people will slowly arrive.
Yeah. Banj?
Sorry, just trying to move the question. I had an ADHD moment there.
What's your most successful approach to advertising your fangin?
That's why I zoned out. I was checking my Twitter.
Don't go on Twitter. Mistake number one.
There you go. I'm not a great advertiser. This is something I really want to improve for my project. Really, I think it's this. This is why I'm here. Really, is I want to get out there more. I think putting yourself out there is a good shout. Hopefully, this gets some people to check out SOS. Diversity of platform, I suppose, is good. We have SOS on Spotify, and you get a surprising amount of people being like, "Oh, I really like having it on Spotify," and that works a weird amount. So, yeah, I don't know. Try it. Just get out there as much as you can. It's something I'm still working on. I'm the best for this.
Awesome.
Yeah, you guys, I was just about to say it in chat, but you guys should all just follow us on Twitter. You just should.
Just
don't follow me on Twitter.
This is now the
I do nothing
advertising
on Twitter.
Yeah, just go follow all these projects and these awesome, amazing people. Let's see here. Very, very, very quick, silly question, because I feel like we haven't had a lot of those. What's your favorite character from all of the Fangin Sphere? That is
saying your own characters is banned.
Yeah, saying your own characters is banned.
Asatsuki DRA.
Okay.
Setsuka is DRA too.
I wanted to say Rei Mekaru, another.
Oh no. I've never watched another Fangan.
We have another sweep.
That's
a
LARPer.
Part of it was just that I didn't want to be influenced because I'm just very dedicated to SOS itself.
Right.
And I was like, I don't want to. I want to be like, oh, I've seen someone else do the same murder that I'm going to do. Now I'm going to not do it. I really should check for it. That's hard. Okay, that's a whole other question.
Okay. Well, we've got.
I really bias towards the protagonists because I love the journeys they go on. So I think Shuichi Saihara is up there.
Real.
But yeah, I'm not really. This is why, again, this is part of why I've come here today, is because I'm not really a part of the Fangan community, and I really, should stop laughing, I suppose.
Honorable mention to Tomochi Kukurin, considering Banj didn't answer, and I wanted to make sure it was 4, and also go watch DH2.
Should I say that one? What was the name? I can pretend that was my answer. We can edit this around.
Oh yeah, we can pretend. No, Tomochi Kukurin. It's from Danganronpa Desperate Heart. Liv was meant to be here, and then she had a scheduling error. So that's me promoting my wife's Fangan. No, my girlfriend's Fangan.
There's the DH promo of the day.
There's the DH promo of the day.
I can also
Tomochi Kukurin from Desperate Heart is my favorite Fangan.
Yes!
Towa Sumiko is the GOAT.
All right. And we've got our last question. I'm going all the way down to the bottom with our ending it on a silly.
Oh, this one, yeah.
Why are you evil?
I cast Melvin Turgis as my protagonist. It was kind of all downhill from there. Can't lie.
On a serious note, it's just so much fun to watch people's reaction and the emotions that the evil plot lines invoke in them.
When I was a young boy, my elder brother killed my entire clan, and yeah, that really fucking no. I enjoy being evil. Being evil is fun. Yeah, that's about it. It's just innately enjoyable.
You gotta be a little evil
yeah.
to write a fangun.
You do,
Oh,
you
absolutely.
do. I get a lot of joy out of making fucked up situations, and I think you kind of need a bit of that to write a fangun.
Yeah.
Why am I evil? I like the taste of your tears.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Send them to me.
Aren't they nice?
Give them to me.
I think
I
getting the
crave
constant
them.
messages in the Discord server of "I'm so fucking scared" the more that I leak about Chapter 3 Deadly, like, kind of fuels me to get it out faster.
Evil laugh. Beautiful.
It was good.
That was good. That was really good. That was a really good evil laugh.
That was solid.
Thank you.
Raven. Why are you evil?
I already said it's so much fun to see people's reactions as well as my own stuff. Like, oh, I have this moment when I said to my team that I have most of the ideas for the next Fangan ready, and our friend Melvin said that he's ready, and I told him that the fun part is that he's not.
Real. No, unfortunately,
Real.
Melvin, you are not ready. With that, everyone,
Let's
we have
kill Melvin.
completed our bonus director's panel, and also Fanganconpa. That is the end of at least. We'll call it year one. Give us 2 years. We'll figure it out. But yeah. That is the bonus directors panel. Thank you all so much to our panelists today. One last time going down the line. That is Trina, Kronzi, Raven, and Banj. Thank you to you four for being here today.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
Yeah,
this
thank you
has
so
been
much for
great.
inviting me.
I want to say special shout out to Kronzi because this was Kronzi's idea for the
Yeah.
stretch goal, so this would not happen without Kronzi.
Yeah, special shout out to Kronzi for putting this all together.
True.
Yeah, thank you so
Kronzi.
much.
Thank you so much, Kronzi.
Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you to the Fangancon host team for allowing me to put this on and doing a lot of the technical stuff and doing all that because I don't have access to the accounts. I'm so sorry I did not do more. And
That's perfectly
thank you
fine.
so much.
No, thank you for all your hard work.
We did up to this
Thank-
point. What's one more?
One more, right?
One more.
And thank you so much for the community, for supporting the charity, for being there for us. We would not be here if it weren't for you. Not only in this panel, but also making Fangans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking to close this off, do we want to go down the line and tell everybody where they can find our stuff?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Do we want to start with me? It feels weird
Yeah.
being like, we should promote, and then
Yeah.
I'm the one that starts.
Yeah,
We can go in reverse
you're up.
order if you
It was your
like. You
idea.
can
You're up
stop.
first. You're also the most.
No, I don't mind.
One on the left.
Yeah, so as mentioned, of course, I direct Danganronpa Salvation Spheres. There's a full playthrough on YouTube under the account Salvation Sphere. If you just look up Danganronpa Salvation Spheres on YouTube, you will find it. It will be the first result. With that, the Discord link, I think, is there. The Game Jolt link is there if you'd rather play it instead of watch it. You can also go follow me on Twitter. My personal Twitter is Trina with 2 A's at the end, 022. And then the project Twitter is just at Salvation Spheres, where I like torturing my community live. And it fills me with a great amount of joy, and you should become my next victim of my torture.
Beautiful. Kranze.
You can find Fate's Return on YouTube. If you type Danganronpa Fate's Return, you will find us. We are also the first result. Yeah, we don't really have project socials because I am a hermit and I don't do things like that. I also don't really do like personal social media. I'm just like that. I'm bad at promoting things. I left Twitter. I have not really looked back since. I only logged in to retweet Fangancon stuff. But if you want to see my art and stuff, I am CronCC, the letter C, not C as in SEE, Cronsic. That's my handle on Tumblr, and I occasionally post art and rants.
Real. Raven.
Okay, so basically, if you Google Danganronpa Live or Die trilogy, you can find our card that has the links for everything: our YouTube channel, our Twitter, our Discord server, and our own wiki. Of course, the wiki has spoilers, so be careful, as well as the download links. As for myself, I have my Twitter account. I'm active there, but it's not just a Fangan account. I tweet about everything from sports to art to games to. So it's I don't know if you want, but if someone wants to follow and is at least 16 years old, then you can follow me.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, I'll mainly direct people to Danganronpa SOS. It's the same pretty much everywhere. Sometimes the punctuation varies. I think there's another Danganronpa SOS, but we're the one that is just SOS. It doesn't stand for anything. Well, it might stand for anything, but that's it's not in our branding anywhere. I have a personal Twitter that I never use, so maybe if people like follow me there, maybe I will start using it. Mainly, it's just like I've talked about some writing and stuff on there before, nothing crazy. But the main thing is go look at Danganronpa SOS. I've posted in the chat a link there.
We have
Yeah.
all posted our links in chat.
Yes.
I would love more people to
Promotion.
watch this series because I'm immensely proud of it and I think it offers a lot of fun stuff. So thank you very much.
Of course. With that, for one final time for this year, I've been your host of this panel, Maeve Rose, and everyone have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.
Everyone. Thank you
Bye.
so much,
Bye.
everybody, for tuning in.